In this video, I'm going to be revealing an easy to use strategy that's helped complete online newbies make their first sales and profits on Amazon from complete scratch. Not only that, I'm going to show you how they did it without having to put huge upfront costs. Like, we're not talking thousands and thousands of dollars in inventory. You can literally get started with this business model that we're going to be talking about in this video for less than $100. So no big upfront costs. There's one software tool that you're going to need, and besides that, just a little bit for some stock to get yourself going. So you're not going to have to invest thousands in inventory. You're not going to have to go and order in bulk from wholesale or import from China. Whilst those are great strategies, they're not necessarily the most beginner friendly, because of course, if you're someone starting with a smaller budget, you're going to have to buy lots and lots of stuff. Buying from wholesale means you're going to have to buy 30, 40, 50 units. But with what I'm going to be sharing with you, you can buy just 3 to 5 units of lots of different products, enabling you to test lots of different markets. So we don't have to order in bulk. We don't have to import from China, which means we don't have to wait for things to be delivered. When I first started selling on Amazon back in 2013, I did not know that this part of the business model existed. I used to store everything in my spare room. I'd have my spare room stacked floor to ceiling with stuff. And then when I sold it, I had to go find it. And I'm not the most organized person on the planet, so it took me quite a while to find the things. And my wife was never really happy with our spare room and garage and everything else being stocked up with inventory that I was selling on Amazon. So I'm going to show you what my big revelation was and how I was able to leverage one of Amazon's main systems to free myself up from storage. I'm also going to show you how to do it without spending hours and hours per day. You can literally invest just 1 hour per day into this business model and still be successful with it. I'm also going to show you how they did it without hiring a team. Now, this is something that later on down the line, if you wanted to, you absolutely could. You could hire yourself a team and free yourself up from some of the day-to-day running. But it's not something that day one, even year one, year two, that you need to consider. And you can run it for the rest of your life without hiring a team if you wanted to. Hiring a team is going to free yourself up from some of the day-to-day activities later on if you want them to, but ultimately it's not required. And all the people that I'm going to share with you here, up to the point that they were, when I'm sharing their results with you, they had not hired team members. So they've been able to achieve that all on their own. And I'm going to show you how to do it without ever laying your hands on a product, having to physically touch it, no shipping it to customers, no doing any of that. So if you're interested in that, give me a like on this video and we will carry on, and I'll reveal exactly how this works in 5 simple steps. But before we do that, I told you I was going to share with you some results from people who've already been utilizing this system. So those complete online newbies who made their first sales and profits on Amazon, here are some of them. So Nicole was able to make her first $1,000 in sales just 2 weeks into this business. Now, please bear in mind, whilst I said you can start for less than $100, these people all started with a different budget. Some had a lower budget, some had a higher budget, and so their results are going to be different levels. But Nicole was somebody who started with a modest investment at the beginning. And then just 2 weeks into her business, she's already made $1,000 in sales. And we have Marina. She was able to consistently grow her business to the point where she'd done $20,000 in sales in less than a year from starting her business. And then take a look at Oot. She was able to have a $2,000 day. That's $2,000 in sales in one single day, utilizing what I'm going to share with you in this video. And of course, Noel was able to have his first $30,000 month and achieve $159,000 in sales in his first year. So you can see that with this system, there are extraordinary things that are possible. And I've got one more to share with you here. There's John. John, in his first year, was able to do over $200,000 in sales. And these are people who are not doing this full time. They have full-time jobs, many of them have children, and they are doing this as a sideline. It is something they're doing in addition to their day-to-day jobs, and alongside their family responsibilities, they're still able to get results like this. So if that's something that's inspiring to you, drop me a comment in the comments below and hashtag inspire if that's inspired you to continue to find out more about how this works. So let's get into the 5 steps. The first step here is we need to find products. We need to do some product research. And the way we do that with this particular model is that we find discounted products that are for sale at online retailers that we can buy and are selling for more on Amazon. Then basically when we sell them, we keep the difference as profit. So these products that meet that criteria, they're selling for a discount and they're selling for more on Amazon, we call them deals, right? And here's an example of one. It's a 2022 cap, right? So this isn't an old screenshot. This is fairly recent. And it just happens to be a collectible baseball cap that people are paying much more for on Amazon. So $18.60 is what we can buy it for at this online retailer, right? So over on Amazon, the exact same product is currently selling for $56. So there's a significant difference there between what we can buy it for and what we can sell it for. Now, there are some fees and costs and things like that need to come out, but once those are taken care of, there's still a decent amount left over for profit. What we will then do to ensure that this is a good purchase, we don't just blindly buy anything just because it's available at a discount on an online retailer and apparently selling for more on Amazon, because whilst we see $56 of the sale price, I can already hear the conversation in your minds as you're watching this. But hey, Josh, if just because it's on Amazon for $56 doesn't mean people are actually paying that. And I hear you. It's very, very true. It does not mean that anybody's paying $56. So what we do is we have a framework that we've put together that helps us to filter these products and essentially establish whether or not it's a good investment. So one of the things that we're checking for here in what we call the Vitals framework is for whether or not people are actually paying the price that we're looking to try and achieve. So we'd put it through this stress testing framework that we call Vitals to see whether or not the product is what we think it is. So in Vitals, we're essentially trying to establish A, whether or not people are actually paying the asking price on Amazon. Very, very important. B, how much profit we're going to make if we were to sell it. So that's when we take Amazon's fees and costs, other costs and things like that out of the equation. And then how many times per month that product is selling. And then that's going to help us to decide how many of those should we buy. Should we buy just 1 or 2? Should we buy 3, 5, or maybe even 10? Because if we can see that this is a really good investment, we'd make $15 or so for every one that we bought, then why would we not go buy 5 of them if we had if it was selling 20 units a month and there was a few other competitors on the listing? Because the beautiful thing about what we do here is we don't actually have to create anything, but we'll get to that shortly. So the Vitals framework essentially works like this. It's like a funnel, right? So we have all the potential deals that go in the top. We research products, we find potential opportunities, we put them into the top of the Vitals framework, and out the bottom are only winning deals. Now, we haven't got time to go into the Vitals framework in detail in today's video because it is a complete system in and of itself, but just know that we have a way of being able to go through each one of those. I'll give you the quick version, right? So Vitals essentially it's an acronym, right? Each letter of Vitals stands for something specific that we're looking to check and establish what the data is. And we have a tool that we use that's called BuyBot Pro, and it helps us to pull back the curtain on these products and look at these different data points. V stands for verify, and that means that we're going to go and verify that people are paying the price that we want to achieve. I stands for income versus investment, so then we go check, does it meet our minimum profit criteria? Are we going to make enough money on our investment? Are we going to get a great enough return on our original investment to make it worthwhile? T stands for turnaround, and we were talking earlier on, just a few moments ago in fact, about how we want to know how many times per month the product is selling, and the tool that we use gives us access to that. A stands for alerts. Now there are some alerts that might come up on the system that we're using that might change our mind about the investment. L stands for longevity, and this is where we ask ourselves, does it have some form of expiry date? Is it subject to external forces like a new movie release that's spiking the sales of a particular product in its related merchandise, things like that. And then S stands for sellable. Is it something that we actually have access to sell? So within that framework, we're able to establish whether or not it's a good deal. And if you buy products within that framework, I can almost guarantee you will get the result that you're looking for. Essentially, it means that there's no guesswork. When I first started selling on Amazon back in 2013, it was all guesswork. We had no tools, I had no frameworks, I had no systems, I had nothing to rely on. I would literally just guess, put my finger in the air and decide, no, yeah, this looks like a good investment. And of course, you can imagine how that played out. It did not go well and I lost a lot of money. It means that we only invest in deals that we know are going to sell. It virtually removes all risk entirely. After we have done our research and performed our validation through the Vitals framework, we then go ahead and place an order for the product. So what we do when we place an order is we go and see, can we get a further discount? We might look for coupon codes. We might look for something that gives us the opportunity to reduce that cost even further so that we can add more profit to the investment. And because we do this online, it means that the business model can be operated from anywhere in the world. So we have clients that are based in Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, Greece, Italy, in various different countries that sell in a variety of different marketplaces like the United States and the United Kingdom. I'm based in England, in the UK. I sell on Amazon UK. I've sold on Amazon US in the past as well. And because we utilize a third-party prep center who will store the product when we purchase it, because when we place the order, we mark the delivery address for the prep center that we're using, this third-party company that's basically going to receive the goods. They're going to prepare them for sale by placing a small label over the existing barcode on the product packaging, and then they're going to send it to Amazon on our behalf, where it's then stored until sold. So like I said, it means you can do this from literally anywhere in the world. So if you want to live that stereotype laptop lifestyle on a beach in Mexico doing this, then absolutely do that. All you need is a laptop and an internet connection and you can rock this business. So you literally never need to see or touch a product yourself, which for many of you, I'm sure that's music to your ears. I know it is for mine, because I've seen and touched a lot of products over the years, and I'd really rather have not handled them. So then what happens is once we place the order for the product, we then have to go and list it on Amazon. Now I say list it, we're not actually listing anything, all right? Because the listing already exists on Amazon's platform. We're literally taking an existing product listing, because if you remember what I was saying earlier on, we're looking at all the data, right? So let's say, for example, we wanted to sell this pack of pens. Just something I have on my desk here. We'd look up the existing listing. We'd only sell things that already exist. Someone's already taken the photographs. They've already written the title. They've already written the description. All the bullet points are there. The product's already got reviews from customers who are happy with the product. And so we're not risking anything there either. There's no time required on our part. No additional cost in terms of having photographers come in and take nice pictures or anything like that. It's already there. We literally just show up and tell Amazon, I want to charge this much for it, and here's how many I have. So here's a quick snapshot of the listing form and how simple it is when we actually go ahead and get these products listed. So we tell Amazon how much we want to sell for it. And this is my UK account here, so I've got an example price of £49.99. We tell them what the condition of it is. It's brand new and sealed in its original packaging, right? And then we tell Amazon that we want them to store the products, pick it, pack it, and ship it on our behalf. And also, something that we haven't mentioned so far is that they'll even take care of the customer service on our behalf. So if customers are chasing up their order, they don't know where they are, they want to know what's happening, or they want to, organize a return or anything like that, Amazon handles everything. And of course, when I mention returns, I'm sure that piques your curiosity. What happens when someone actually returns a product? Well, it's quite simple. They return the product to Amazon's fulfillment center. Amazon will then grade the product. If it's in its brand, if it's like, let's say they bought it and they changed their minds, like, actually, I don't want it. It didn't arrive in time, or I've changed my mind. No issue. It just goes back into your inventory and gets sold again. If they've opened it and they've changed their mind, then it gets regraded in used condition, gets repriced and sold again. But if it's something that can't be sold, then it needs to be dealt with elsewhere. And then we have systems and processes for that. But it's such a small percentage of products that happens with that it really doesn't matter. So that is our first two steps. Then step number 3 is prep and send. And we've already touched on this a little bit. And the good thing is that it doesn't actually require any action from you whatsoever, because like I was explaining just a few minutes ago, we use third-party prep centers to actually handle all of the fulfillment of these goods on our behalf. So they will receive them, they will prep them, and they'll send them to Amazon. So we don't need to worry about that at all. And that little label that I mentioned, it goes over the existing barcode. So all products will have an existing UPC barcode number on them. And we just get a little label that goes over the top of those. The prep center will produce that, they'll print it, and they'll stick it on, and they charge you a small fee for the privilege of doing that for you. And then Amazon's going to collect those packages from your prep center and take them to the warehouse where they're going to be stored. So the good part from here is that we're able to then make some sales, because once your products get in stock and you get a share of that buy box, this area here that you've probably clicked 100 times, 1,000 times yourself if you're an Amazon buyer, which I'm going to hazard a guess that you are. Maybe many of you are Prime subscribers. Give me a hashtag Prime in the comments below if you're a Prime subscriber. I know there's many of you out there. I'm a Prime subscriber and a big lover of it. For next day delivery here in the UK, two-day delivery in the US, and of course, the wonderful video platform that we also get access to too. So in any case, this is what it looks like. You have your offer. Your offer will be displayed on the product page. So if there are other people selling the exact same product as you, what's going to happen is throughout the day, your offer is going to rotate with theirs. So at 12 o'clock midday, your offer might be in the buy box. By 4 o'clock, there might be another offer in the buy box. But what's going to happen is day in, day out, those offers are going to rotate, so you get an equal share of that buy box. And you can see on this example, right, it says living like Larry. This is the seller. It's actually shipped by Amazon. So this seller is utilizing Amazon's FBA service, fulfillment by Amazon, where they will store, pick, pack, and ship the goods on your behalf. So this seller has this item in stock at $56, and Amazon are going to store it, pick it, pack it, and ship it. So this person's in the buy box. If anyone were to go to this product listing right now and click add to cart or buy now, they're buying it from Living Like Larry. And then once that happens, of course, they go and complete the order, and a sale is going to drop into your account that looks a little bit like this. So from this point on, it's quite simple. All we have to do is rinse and repeat. You've got the process down. You know what to do. You buy products, you test lots of different markets, you test lots of different categories, you buy from lots of different stores. Maybe you buy some headphones, some video games, some grocery products, maybe some hot sauce or coffee syrup. We do a lot of that kind of stuff. Or some supplements, some protein powder, stuff like that, right? Things that you, like everyday products that you yourself probably buy on Amazon every single day. So those are the types of things that people are buying all the time, and those are the sorts of markets that we can tap into. Now you had the process down, you literally just reinvest your profits and predictably grow your money over time. And that, in a nutshell, is how you can start your own Amazon FBA business in 2025. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe to watch future videos just like this, and I will see you next time.